video, I'm going to teach you how to find the closest date in Excel. To get started, it helps to know what the goal is. You are going to compare a reference date against a small list of dates. Then locate the date from the list that is closest to your reference. Closest usually means the smallest difference in days, whether the listed date is before or after the reference date. Excel can do this very efficiently with a combination of min, abs, and vlookup. Before you type anything, make sure your worksheet layout is set up clearly. You should have one column that contains your reference date value. In the instructions you are working from, that reference date sits in cell B2. You should also have a column of dates you want to search. In this example, the candidate dates are in cells A2 through A4. Make sure those cells are actually formatted as dates. Even if the values look like dates, the best results happen when Excel recognizes them as date data. Next, you will click cell C2. This is important because C2 is where the final answer will appear. That answer will be the date from A2, A4 that is closest to the date in B2. Take a moment and locate column C, then find row 2, and click the cell so you can begin entering a formula. Now you can type the formula into C2. Type exactly the following, equals vlookup, and then open parentheses. As you type, watch the formula bar so you can confirm that the structure is correct. Excel formulas depend on the right punctuation and ranges. The first part inside vlookup is the lookup value, which in this case is based on the minimum absolute difference. Start with min, then open parentheses again. Next, you will enter abs, which stands for absolute value. The absolute value is what makes Excel treat differences consistently, turning negative differences into positive ones. That way, a date that is slightly earlier and a date that is slightly later can both be compared fairly using the magnitude of the difference. Inside ABS, the instruction uses the expression $2, $4 minus B2. So you will enter $2, $4 mash B2. The dollar signs are important. They lock the column and row references in a way that keeps the formula stable if you later copy it or adjust it. Here, $2, $4 represents the list of dates you are checking, and subtracting B2 gives the difference between each candidate date and the reference date. After you close the ABS parentheses, close the min parentheses as well. At this point, Excel is calculating the smallest absolute difference across the candidate dates. This gives you the closest distance in days. Now you are ready to complete the vlookup arguments. You must provide the lookup array, which is the list of absolute differences that corresponds to each date. In the instructions, this is ABS, $2, $4 B2. After the min part, add a comma, then type ABS, $2, $4 B2 as the lookup array, then add another comma. Finally, you provide the return array, which tells Excel which value to output once it finds the closest difference. The instruction uses $2, $4 for the return array, so after the second comma, type $2, $4, and then close the parentheses to finish the vlookup formula. The full formula should match the instruction exactly. Once you have entered the formula, press Enter. Now Excel will evaluate the absolute differences, find the minimum one, and return the corresponding date from A2, A4. Look at cell C2. The result should be one of the dates from your list, specifically the one that is closest to the date in B2. If you later change the date in B2, the result in C2 will update automatically. That is one of the main advantages of using a formula like this. That covers everything you need to know. And that is all there is to it.